Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, good morning, respected lecturer and my friends. Let me introduce myself. My name is Nurul Ilmi Hikmatunnisa Lambado. My student number is 240107110001 and 2. And I'm from TBIC class. Today, I will present my final project for the Linguistic and English Language Teaching course. In this presentation, I will discuss linguistics and its role in English language teaching, with a special focus on phonology, which is one of the most important branches is understand how English works. I chose this topic because linguistics is not only about learning grammar or vocabulary. It is a deep understanding of how language works systematically. By studying linguistics, especially phonology, teachers can help students communicate more clearly, improve the pronunciation, and understand subtle differences in sounds that can change meaning. I hope this presentation will give us a better insight into the importance of linguistics for English teachers and learners alike. So, what is linguistics? Scientific study of language system, human communication. So, linguistics is the scientific study of language. It is concerned which understand how language is structured, how it is used, and how it is acquired by humans. Language is not just a collection of words or sentences. It is a complex system with rules and patterns that allow people to convey meaning. This rule exists at many levels: sounds, words, sentences, and meaning in context. By studying linguistics, we can understand not only how people speak but also why they speak in certain ways. We can analyze patterns of communication, recognize common errors, and explore how it evolves over time. This knowledge is essential for teachers who want to guide their students in learning English effectively and accurately. Why linguistics is important? So, first, understand language deeply. Second, analyze student errors. Third, support teaching process. So, linguistics is crucial because it provides a deep understanding of language for English learners, especially in Indonesia. Mistakes in pronunciation, grammar, and word use are common. With linguistics, teachers can analyze why students make mistakes or identify patterns that are related to their first language interference or learning process. This understands allows teachers to provide explanations that are clear and targeted. Moreover, linguistics supports the teaching process by helping teachers choose the right methods and material, decide which effort to focus on, and design activities that improve both accuracy and fluency. Without knowledge of linguistics, teaching can become mechanical and less effective. And the next slide about branches of linguistics: phonology, morphology, syntax, semantics, and pragmatics. So linguistics has several branches as focusing on a different aspect of language. Phonology studies the sound of language, including how sounds are produced and how they function in communication. Morphology studies how words are formed and structured. Syntax focuses on how words combine into meaningful sentences. Semantics deals with meaning, while pragmatics look at how meaning changes depending on context and social factors. Understanding these branches gives teachers a holistic view of language. It allows them to teach not just vocabulary and grammar, but also how to pronounce correctly, how to construct meaningful sentences, and how to use language appropriately in different situations. So, we focus on phonology, study of sounds, pronunciation, meaning differences. In this presentation, I will focus on phonology, the branch of linguistics that studies sounds. Phonology is very important because the sounds we produce can change the meaning of words entirely. For example, the word pat and bat differ only in their initial consonant sounds, but their meanings are completely different. Similarly, sounds like T in think or D in this do not exist in Indonesia, so learners often struggle with them. Phonology also includes studying stress, rhythm, and intonation. And these features affect not only how sentences sound but also how meaning is interpreted. For example, stress on a different word in a sentence can change the focus or intentions, which is important for effective communication. By understanding phonology, teachers can help students notice these differences, practice correctly, and gradually speak English more naturally. So in the next slide about pronunciation problem for Indonesia learners. So different English sounds, stress and intonations, speaking difficulties. Indonesian learners often face specific challenges in English pronunciation. Many English sounds do not exist in Indonesia, such as V, T, and T. This can cause difficulty in both speaking and understanding spoken English. In addition, English uses stress and intonation to convey meaning, emotion, and sentence type. For example, the sentence "I didn't say he stole the money" can have 7 different meanings, depending on which word is stressed. This concept is usually unfamiliar to Indonesian learners, so teaching stress pattern is very important. Without proper pronunciation training, students may be understood incorrectly, or they may feel less confident speaking English. Therefore, phonology education is crucial. Phonology is English language teaching, pronunciation improvement, listening skills, speaking confidence. So phonology helps teachers improve student pronunciation skills, which is foundational for listening and speaking. When students can distinguish sounds and produce them correctly, they understand spoken English better. Teachers can design exercises that focus on difficult sounds, intonation patterns, and stress. Over time, this improves student confidence in speaking English because they feel more competent and less worried about being misunderstood. Phonology not only helps the students speak clearly, but also trains them to listen carefully, which is essential for communication in real-life context. Okay, the next slide about classroom application of phonology. Minimal peer listening activities, pronunciation practice. Phonology can be applied in classroom teaching using simple but effective activities. One common method is using minimal peers like sheep and sip to train students hear and produce different sounds. Teachers can also incorporate listening activities where students identify sounds in words or sentences. Repetition and drills are useful to help students practice pronunciation repeatedly. By integrating this activity into lesson, students gradually improve the accuracy, rhythm, and intonation in English. It makes learning interactive and practical, which increases engagement and learning outcomes. So in the next slide about importance for future English teachers. First, language awareness, teaching effectiveness, professional skill. So for future English teachers, knowledge of linguistics is essential. It increases language awareness and allows teachers to teach more effectively. Understanding phonology, morphology, syntax, semantics, and pragmatics equips teachers with tools to explain complex concepts in similar ways. Teachers who understand linguistics can design lessons that anticipate student difficulties, create meaningful exercise, and provide explanations that address both errors and confusion. This enhances their professional skills and makes them more competent educators. Conclusion: linguistics is an essential part of language teaching. It helps teachers understand how language works and enables them to teach it more effectively. Phonology, in particular, plays a crucial role in improving student pronunciation, listening, and speaking skills. By applying for the conclusion, linguistics is essential. Phonology supports ELT, help effective teaching. So, thank you very much for your attention. I hope this presentation gives a better understanding of linguistics and its practical importance in English language teaching. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye bye.